Hi, it's the Lipstick Gal. Thank you so much for watching today. I thought it might be fun to go through some brown lipstick recommendations. I don't have all of my brown lippies in front of me, but I have several. And since fall is in full swing, I just find that I'm reaching for brown lips more often than not. Now, I know the 90s lip trend is definitely, been going around. We've been seeing a lot of this. And I've got something I feel like for everyone. Somebody who wants something super, super opaque all the way down to just the barest whisper of color. I'm going to start with one of my sheerest recommendations. It's from NARS. It's their Afterglow Lip Balm. This is the shade Laguna, which of course is just super easy. This feels like an elevated chapstick. It definitely is a balm, and it does bring just a hint of brown to the lips, which is exactly what I'm looking for this time of year. So if I'm going for something easy and that I can apply without a mirror and with Wild Abandon, this is beautiful. Now it is in the mid 30s, so she's expensive, but I really like it and I feel like it's worth it. A very sheer swatch of Laguna. It is barely anything at all, but so lovely and comfortable on the lips. The next one was a favorite that I wore all through summer and early fall. I'm back in love with this again, and I'm like, oh, I want it all the time. I had to pull it out of my purse. This is from YSL. This is the Love Shine Candy Glow. Not to be confused with the Candy Glaze or the Love Shine Oil and Balm. Like, could they have picked a more confusing name? I don't think so, but this is a new formula this year from YSL. I have the shade 5B. The description of this is a little bit strange, and I don't know what to believe because it says it's a pH adjusting lip color. And every time I swatch it, it swatches looking kind of brown like this. It has that really sweet kind of mango-y scent that a lot of YSL lipsticks have, but it never turns my lips that hot pink, that vibrant fuchsia that most pH adjusters turn on my lips. That's why I like this. And I don't know whether it's got like the smallest little drop of a color shift adjuster in there, but to me, this really doesn't adjust pH wise on my lips, which is why I like it. So it's 5B, really love this one. And it's so pretty and very nourishing. And another one you can apply with Wild Abandon. Here's one that I absolutely love, but I have to be careful that I don't put too much on. This is the lip oil from Ami Collet, and this is in the shade Excellence. One thing that I do like, you might see that there are a few little ridges in the bottom of the doe foot. That helps to pick up product. And this on the lips is so plush, so cushy, so hydrating. Now, I am a chronic over applier, especially when it comes to lips. But this is one of those where I find I get the best wear when I pull it out once and distribute what there is on the doe foot all over my lips. The minute I go in for a second dip, it starts to kind of collect in the corners and string a little bit. I find it doesn't do it at this place, but I love this color and the feel on the lips. It is absolutely beautiful. So right here is this lip oil from Ami Collet in Excellence. It is so good. So good. This is definitely a huge favorite of mine. Time for a little Dior. This is the Dior Addict Shine Lipstick. This is in the shade 716 Canage. It does have some shine to it. I feel like you see the shine a little bit more on the lips and the back of my hands. It's probably because my hands need to be moisturized. But this feels really lovely. It's not as cushy and plush as the Ami Collet. It is definitely got a little bit more of a mouthfeel than the one from NARS. I feel like it is not quite as plush as the one from YSL, but I love this color. I like that it's a step closer towards a lipstick. I mean, I'm sure these are officially considered a lipstick, but to me it is still sheer. You can still see my natural lip color through it, the natural color of my skin. And I feel like those sorts of lip products are really easy for almost anyone to wear. And then they can veer one way or another based on the shade and tone of your natural lips. But this one in 716 is absolutely stunning, super easy to wear. And oddly enough, I do not think this has a scent to it. I'm not smelling anything. Maybe I'm missing it, but it doesn't smell like anything. Whereas a lot of the other Dior, like the refillable lipsticks, very fragrance, which to me is interesting. Next lip product I have for you is from About Face. This is the Light Lock Lip Gloss. This one here is in the shade Adore Me. And I love the way this feels. I actually really like the slant of the doe foot as well. But she's got pigment. Something to keep in mind. There's also just a little bit of mint to this. So if you don't like a minty feel, you wouldn't like these. This is so comfortable. This feels like a high-end luxury lip gloss. This does not feel like a drugstore option. Man, I'm so impressed with the About Face brand. But she's got some pigment to her. Look at that. That is a lot of pigment. I feel like out of all of these so far, the Ami Collet, you can just see it. It looks like glass. This is very shiny and very pretty, but definitely has some serious pigment to it. You can thin it out, of course, but this is one of those that I really like the look of, and I like that it's a cooler brown. It's not as warm as the rest. It is a deeper brown, but it also has less warmth overall to it. And I think that if you're looking for something like that, this might be one of those hidden gems that you don't know that's out there. Really good, the shade Adore Me. This next one is from Sephora. I know the Sephora sale is going on right now, and you can get all Sephora products at 30% off. This is shade number 4 from the Lacquer Shine lipstick range. This was new, I think, just before the spring sale, this formula. This is such a beautiful kind of warmer brown. Feels good. I don't think there's a fragrance to this. I'm just smelling ingredients. There's no tingle to it, but it feels so, it's not really cushy and pillowy like some products. It has a nice glide to it on the lips, but it doesn't feel sticky or heavy. So if those are things that you don't like, you would really like this because it does have kind of a lightweight feel. It is very nourishing. One thing I will tell you is this one does need me to wear a lip liner with it. I'm almost 50 and my vermilion border is not what it used to be. So I need a liner to keep this from kind of traveling a little bit because it is very hydrating and a little bit emollient. It's not like egregiously like, you know, I have like color out to here, but it does find those fine lines. If you're younger, that's not going to be an issue. If you are in my age range, low lip liner, and this is beautiful. Also not terribly expensive, but it feels like a high-end lipstick. The packaging doesn't, but the product is beautiful. Here's another one from About Face that really surprised me. This is the Cherry Pick Lip Butter in the shade Kiwi Fuzz. So this has a very strong scent to it. It smells like cherry candy. So if you are scent averse, stay away from this whole line. But what I love about this, it's one of those kind of glossy, almost gloss in stick form, but there's pigment to this. This one does feel kind of cushy and plush. This one also does find the edges of my lips and travel just a little bit. So I do like wearing this one with a lip liner. But on days that I thin it out and I blot it down, it is so pretty and so easy. I don't find the scent to be too much for me. I don't mind scented things, and especially things that are sweet and smell like fruit. That doesn't really bother me. And now it smells like artificial cherry. Let's just be clear with that. Some people really do have a problem with this where it's, you know, they want to love it, but it just tends to be too fragranced. So out of all of the products I have here, this is the most highly fragranced, and I just want to make sure that you know that. But if we're looking here, I forgot to swatch the one from Sephora for you, which is here. Here is the Cherry Pick Lip Butter from About Face in Kiwi Fuzz. But some really, really lovely glossy shiny browns. This is probably one of the browns I have used the most. It's from Lisa Eldridge. It's Meet Me in Berlin from the Luxuriously Lucent line. I absolutely love this lipstick. Here is Meet Me in Berlin. It is one of the most beautiful browns in my collection. I feel like this is one of those lipsticks where I can wear it with almost anything. It is a little bit of a chameleon lipstick because if I pair it with things like maybe a cooler blush, it looks like it can lean cool. And then today I'm wearing it with warmer tones on the eyes, and I feel like it's kind of, it works well with this. It works with a lot of things. Now, the one thing you need to keep in mind is that I do have a neutral undertone. So there's a lot of things that can pull one way or the other on me and still look at home because of my neutral undertone. I know I'm fortunate that way. But I really like how this lipstick kind of can go one way or another. The other thing I like about this is that these Luxuriously Lucents last for about 3.5 hours on my lips before needing to be reapplied. If I'm not drinking from a water bottle, if I'm not having a cup of coffee, but they are hydrating. I don't need a lip liner with these. Maybe next year I will, but as of right now, I don't. And they're so comfortable to wear. I am able to apply it without a mirror and just kind of slap it on and go. Keep it in my pocket, reapply it as needed, and life is great. This is the brown, and I always say this, the brown I wish I'd had in college, because the browns I was wearing in college in the 90s, I lived through that lipstick trend and I loved it, but they were a little bit harsher than what I've got going on now. Have a couple of Merit lipsticks. This is one that's part of the dress code set. So it's the Holiday Trio from Merit. You cannot buy this individually. I didn't know whether it was fair to put this in here, but I'm putting it in. Maybe you have it. Maybe you're planning on getting it. Maybe you're planning on asking for it for the holidays, but this is the shade Bespoke. This is very similar to Meet Me in Berlin. So if you want just one lipstick, I would say Meet Me in Berlin because it's so similar. But if you like the idea of trying a new formula from Merit, having one of their satin lipsticks as well as another matte, the set is beautiful. I have a whole video about it. I'll link it for you here in the description box down below. See what I'm saying? Here is Bespoke. You would think that that and Meet Me in Berlin are almost the exact same shade. They're similar. They're so similar. I feel like there's a touch more pink to Bespoke, just a hair more. And I think that when you see them side by side, you can see the pink in this one a little bit more. And over here in Meet Me in Berlin, it looks like it's just a little bit toastier, just a hair more warmth to it. But they're both super easy to wear. This formula, this signature lip formula is so beautiful. This is the original kind of satiny cream formula. It doesn't really go outside of my lip line. It makes my lips look better. It adds nourishment to it. It really is so comfortable. One of my absolute favorite lip formulas out there, especially for mature lips, because I need moisture. I need my lips to not look like they're on the verge of drying out, especially when the weather starts to drop like it is now. This is a great lipstick in such a beautiful shade. This one from Merit is called 1990. If you're looking at 1990, it is significantly cooler. I feel like it pulls a little bit more neutral. You can see the pink a little bit more in Bespoke right here, but 1990 definitely has a deeper, richer, but it's still super easy to wear. I feel like it has more of a coolness to it. It's very, again, a lovely formula. These just are probably second favorites to some of my Lisa Eldridge lipsticks. I feel like Lisa's lipstick choices are always like my faves, and I'm always reaching for them. And if I'm not reaching for Lisa, usually Merit is next in line. I really, really like this formula, and these browns from Merit are stunning. I have one of the new explicit lipsticks from NARS. This one is called Excess. It's a little toasty, but it leans very brown on me. Here's Excess. It is definitely a warmer brown lipstick. One thing I'll tell you, I love the packaging of these. The magnetic closure is stunning. I also like how this is raised right here. I feel like changing it up. They used to come, not all NARS lipsticks, but a lot of them used to come in soft touch packaging, which after a while started to get kind of fingerprinty and gooey and gross. This is the way to do it. This is beautiful. Love this. But this color, the problem I have with this formula, this doesn't last on my lips as long as I would like it to. I get about 2 hours and the hydration has kind of gone into my lips, and then they can get a little dry and a little flaky because the hydrating properties, and it is a satin lipstick. I mean, they're beautiful. They apply beautifully. The colors are really nice. They do lean a little on the warm side. If you like warm lipsticks, you would like these from NARS. But the one thing I'll say is that after a couple of hours, anything that feels cushy and slippy on the lips is gone. and I'm left with color on the surface of my lips, but my lips start to get really dry and a little bit flaky. So I want the emollient properties in here, the hydrating properties, just to last a little bit longer, and I'm not getting that from this, which is why I probably won't purchase more than the 2 of these that I already have. But it's not a bad lipstick. I just don't know it stands up to, formula-wise, some of the other ones that are just a little bit more comfortable on my lips. But our lips might be different, and you might really love this formula, and it might work beautifully for you. Here's one that I want to love. This is Glossier's Generation G. This is the shade Fuzz. First of all, one thing I'll tell you is I don't like that my cap is broken and it doesn't click shut anymore. And for a matte lipstick, you want it to click shut and not dry out. But I like this formula. It's one of those, though, that I have to wear with something hydrating because on its own, although I love this color, it dries my lips out. So it has a little bit of a pinky brown lean to it. It's so easy to wear, so easy to wear. But this is one I always put on top of a lip balm. I try and find something that is hydrating and not too slippy because I like this sheer matte look. I like the formula of it, just wish it was more hydrating. But the look of it, it's like the lived-in lipstick I always want. And in a shade that's super easy to wear. So Fuzz is beautiful. I just point of pain with the packaging where it never stays on because it's cracked. And then beyond that, the fact that this formula needs hydration or my lips are just in agony for the whole day. But again, the color is why I still have it and haven't gotten rid of it because it's just so pretty on. Love. Here's one from Chanel. This is the Rouge Allure Velvet. This is in the shade 61. Here's the Chanel. I feel like it definitely leans a little toastier. It's a little bit warm. On some people, this would not be a brown, but on my fair skin tone, I feel like it very much reads brown and goes along really well with everything else we've been swatching. This definitely could turn out to look like a toasty, maybe even terracotta-y lipstick on somebody, depending on your natural lip shade and your skin tone. But for me, it's a pretty easy wearable brown, especially for fall and winter. Now this velvet formula from Chanel is actually really comfortable and it wears really well. I don't end up with dry chapped lips when I wear it. It applies over itself beautifully. It feels like a cream lipstick even though it's matte. And to me, that's just a little bit of magic that I like. This is Velvet Sorcery from Lisa Eldridge, an absolutely stunning, kind of nuanced brown lipstick. I really like this lipstick. What's interesting to me is that I feel like where this one's warm, this one definitely has some coolness to it and even a touch of rose, like maybe a little bit of a, you know, kind of mauve-y undertone to it. So it still reads brown, but it's got kind of like that dark mauve underpull to it. So it has a very different look on the lips. I have barely pigmented lips. I feel like my lips are really close to this tone of my skin, just a little bit pinker. They're not as rosy as they used to be. So a lot of bullet lipsticks will look on me like they do in the tube, which is great. But I know that's not true for everybody. But this lipstick is super pigmented, and I think you'd get really close to the shade you see in the bullet on because of the maximum pigment we're getting from these True Velvet lipsticks from Lisa Eldridge. The next one I have for you is from Merit. It is their signature matte lipstick. This one right here is the shade Equestrian. Here's Equestrian. I feel like sandwiched between these two kind of warmer shades of brown, you can see a little bit more of that mauve undertone to the Lisa Eldridge, but this brown shade is so beautiful. I tend to wear it blotted. I feel like right now it's very bold. It's full pigment straight from the tube. I start out like this, and then partway through the day when it blots down, it's just so pretty. One thing I like about the matte formula is that it wears comfortably on my lips the same way their original signature lip formula wears. It's not as creamy, but it feels like a cream lipstick on the lips, and it tends to be nourishing and not drying, which to me is hugely important because, especially as we're heading into cooler months, I need my lipsticks to do kind of double duty, where you're not just color, but you're also nourishing and hydrating the lips. And this still does that, and it's a beautiful lipstick. I kind of feel guilty sharing this one with you, but you might have picked it up when I did, when I found out that Lisa was discontinuing the shade Velvet Decade. She had a sale this summer where she was like, this is the last chance to pick these up. And this is one of those shades I did not have. It is so beautiful. It is such a dark, vampy shade on my fair skin, but still so lovely. Here is Velvet Decade. What's interesting about this is that it is, I feel like it's got a tinge very similar to this, where this has some rosewood to it. I feel like there's something in here, a shade that when you shear it out, you're getting just a little bit of purple. You're getting, it's a cool sort of brown. It's so interesting on the lips. If you happen to like brown lipsticks, you might already have this in your collection and you're like, yeah, it's interesting, it's unique, it's so different from so many other things. Here are all the browns. Aren't they so pretty? Oh, love. Final lip combo, I threw on a little bit of the Makeup Forever Pencil in Anywhere Caffeine. I blotted down the Velvet Decade lipstick that was super deep, and then I threw on top 5B from YSL. Man, I love how it's brown and it's got a little depth to it, but it's not super vampy. I think this is a really, really fabulous look. Thank you so much for watching today. Here's where I want to know, are you a brown lipstick fan? Do you have a favorite brown that you wear regularly? Or is it a shade that you're like, nope, I'm not wearing a brown, give me a pink lipstick all day? I would love to know what your thoughts are. Or if you happen to kind of like just edge your toe into the brown lip pool, what sorts of products appeal to you? Are they sheerer or are they full pigment? Let me know in the comment section down below. I will link every single one of these that are available in the description box down there. Just remember, they're affiliate links. Use them, don't. Totally up to you. Have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye.